Despite many stocks still rallying, there are still a few great stocks that are on a discount and make for some very intriguing buys. And you got it, I'm absolutely there buying up these deals. So I'll give you those stocks that I'm buying and the why behind what I'm buying them at. And a couple of my picks are probably going to fire a few of you guys up like they normally do, and that's okay. Let's talk about it down in the comments. But I'm going to give you those stocks that I'm buying right now today. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth without the hype, and actually do that for all the creators you enjoy. That's actually how you tell us and how you tell YouTube that you're enjoying the content that we put out. And the earlier you do it, the more it helps us out. And do the same thing for my new channel down there where we talk about financial freedom and retiring early. It's the pinned comment down there if you want information strictly on that. That's all we talk about over there is money and retiring early. All right, so a lot to get into today, but we got to kind of set the ground rules before we actually get into the stocks, so that way you guys understand kind of my mind frame and where my mindset is with these stocks, because there can be a very different set of great stocks to buy if you're not viewing it the same exact way that I am. I can make a case for a lot of other stocks if I'm doing something completely different. So I would just want to kind of make sure the rules of the road are even here and we all understand exactly where each other's coming from, and have you guys understand exactly what I'm looking at and why I'm buying it more importantly. Now remember, I'm looking out 3 to 5 years from now. I'm not trading these stocks. I don't know if there's a great trade there or not. I have no clue. I'm not doing any option plays or anything else like that. I'm simply looking for great stocks to buy. And right now, based upon my valuation and my portfolio and where I see these stocks, these are the best values for me to be putting my money into this month in regards to these stocks. Sure, stocks come on the list, they come off the list all the time there, but in general, always have a watch list and always have your price targets there. And yeah, sometimes stocks aren't going to be within that range, and that's okay. I actually have 18 different stocks on my watch list, which if you take advantage of the sale, you can see all my buys in these stocks in real time and my complete watch list, complete with price targets. You can take advantage of our free coaching that everybody's just absolutely loving. You can jump into my DMs anytime you want, jump on our live Q&As, use our stock analyzer tool for free. Guys, there's so much in there. Just check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you. Heck, I didn't even mention the 5 free courses and everything else that's in there, guys. Just trust me, there's a ton in there. Check it out. Take advantage of the March Madness sale before the sale ends and the price goes back up. All right, so moving on to the list here, let's get into it. So stock number 1 is StarBucks. Yeah, this is another one that just like last time, it keeps teasing me. It almost gets to that point where I want to buy, and it just doesn't quite get there. It is right on the cuffs. So I'm probably just gonna have to pull the trigger, go ahead and buy. I need to build out my dividend portfolio positions that I'm wanting to build out there. I have an entire dividend portfolio that I kind of built out for my group separately there. So that way they can kind of see, how do you build out a dividend portfolio? What all is involved with that? And I've been building out those stocks ever since we decided to do that. So this is part of that portfolio right there. And you guys know, I don't think anybody 5 years from now is going to be drinking less Starbucks than they do right now. That line at Starbucks is ridiculous no matter which one I go to, whether it's in an airport, whether you go by one in a busy city, whether you go by one and out in the middle of nowhere someplace where they happen to have a Starbucks, and everywhere else in between. The lines are absolutely ridiculous. And oh, by the way, it's not like it's just, one person buying the Starbucks. No, it's the mom buying one for the kid, and the freaking $5 lollipop for, I don't know. It's crazy what all stuff costs in there. So when I think about a company like that, I don't see their customer base aging. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to get younger. And man, the prices for those things are just ridiculous. But I understand people have to have it. Trust me, I have employees. I buy coffee for them a lot. And when they get Starbucks, that bill is utterly ridiculous. But boy, they seem to buy it all the time and have no issues with it at all spending that money. So it's a stock, at least if I'm going to have to buy that for my employees, I want some money back in the form of dividend from that. And I do think we'll get some nice appreciation, especially when some of their larger scale brands that they've scaled back on the past few years, when they move forward with those again, that right there is when I really think we're going to see some actual share appreciation as well with Starbucks. So stock number 2 is SoFi. Well, this stock did exactly how we predicted it. It ran up a little bit after earnings, showed it's profitable, had its nice little bump up there showing profitability, and it's just cratered right back down like we thought it was going to do, because the traders control the stock for right now. And that's just seemed to be the way they're treating stocks, especially retail favorite stocks, whenever they turn profitable. Well, as the group knows, I started a DCA into that stock just to basically illustrate a plain DCA because, hey, I think the stock's doing great. I think they're doing great things. The moves that they're making with the convertible notes, check this video right up here. I actually put that out as maybe a day or two after they made that announcement about the convertible notes, maybe the next day. I don't really remember there, but check out the video up there if you want all the details on what it is, what it means for the stock price. More importantly, thankfully the CEO got on CNBC and had to explain it to guys like Kramer, who should know better, but I don't know. It's Kramer, guys, whatever. Anyways, the point being, I think this stock has a long runway of a lot of profitability ahead. Now, it does have risk. It's not without risk. and it's not going to be built out into a giant position like I have in a lot of other more stable stocks that I trust a lot. But that doesn't mean it's not a great stock that got beat down for no reason. And no, I'm not expecting a Palantir type bounce up after this latest beat down. But you know what? If we just get up over $10 in the next year or so, I'm going to be looking at a lot of money on these buys in SoFi. So I'm very happy to add at these prices as long as Wall Street wants to continue to get done with this stock. So stock number 3 is Google. Again, it's another one. It just been disrespected after earnings. I got it. You know, the Gemini release was a disaster. Hey, guess what? Everybody's release on every one of those freaking things has been not good, to say the least. Probably not as bad as theirs was, but nonetheless, none of them have been good. None of them are monetized. None of them have figured out anything that's actually tangible that would actually be able to help us. We can all see what it's going to be, but nobody's remotely close to being there, much less having monetized it and having it bring in large amounts of revenue to the bottom line itself. And oh, by the way, that's not their main book of business anyways. It's search and ads. And by the way, they're number 1 and number 2 in search because they own both YouTube and obviously Google as well. That's the number 1 and number 2 search engines in the world. There's not even a close third place, is not even in the ballpark of those two. And when you look at ads, which is their other main revenue driver, them and Meta are the 2 best. And again, third place is so far low, it's not even worth looking at. So why all of a sudden this stock is just terrible and out of favor? I don't know. It just seems like another one of these situations where we're getting a little bit of a gift from Wall Street here. It didn't get beat down as much as I wanted it to. Maybe we will here in the coming few months, who knows? But for right now, I'm just executing a simple DCA into it, just adding more shares, because remember, share count matters far more than what your average is or anything else. Yes, every single share of Google I'll buy from now on, probably for the rest of my life, will be an average up, and that's okay. That is how you build long-term wealth, by just continually buying great stocks when they go on a discount over the course of decades. It always pays off in the end, and the math proves that out. So that's all I'm doing right now with Google at this stage with this particular beatdown that's going on for really no good reason in my mind. All right, so on to the final part of the list here. We're down to the last 2. Again, I know you guys are gonna get fired up. Some of these stocks you guys love or you completely hate it. Kind of seems to be split a little bit, but let's talk about them. So stock number 4 is PayPal. Hey, guess what, guys? We finally got up over 60, and now we're marching up over $64 or so. We'll see where it actually closes today at. But man, it has finally kind of gotten off the slide per se after getting beat down once again, but it is still really, really, really cheap. I got it. I would have much rather have had all my shares all be at $50 or whatever the heck the bottom was in this stock. That would be great, but that's not realistic. The folks that do that, they got lucky. That was not part of a plan. And I own a lot more PayPal than I thought I was going to own. But what do you do whenever the prices are so low? It's a great company. I do believe Alex is going to turn around the ship, but like I talked about in this video right up here, for PayPal, it's going to take time. And you got to be okay with having your money locked up for a period of time. And oh, by the way, I also don't believe it's going to just rocket up like Meta did. I think you're going to see, and actually we talked about, I think when the stock was in the mid 50s or so, I think, hey, it's going to go up in levels, right? Let's take 60 first and then see what happens. Well, it took us a few months, but we finally took over 60. And then before we know it, it's going to be looking at that 65 mark. And we're looking right there at that mark. And it may take a few months to get there and hold it, sustainably hold it. And then obviously then the next mark will be up at that 70 mark, and kind of so on and so forth as you kind of move through it. It's going to be a slow battle, a slow move through all these type things. And I know we're not going to get the same type of run that we got out of Meta or Palantir or other stocks like that. It's going to move just like that. And before you know it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'll wait for it to drop down to 50. And before you know it, we're approaching 70 instead of being down in the 50s. So I'm just staying disciplined, going to add a few more shares because I still believe it's very cheap in regards to valuation there. And it's one of the best places for me to place capital at this time. And on to the final stock, and that would be Tesla. Now look, we have a few tough quarters ahead still for Tesla. Elon has told us on the past 2 earnings calls. He has said it lately in interviews. There is no reason to think that there's just this game-changing catalyst right around the corner or whatever other ridiculous things I hear out there that are out there. Now, do I think Tesla's fine long-term? Absolutely. Will I absolutely take a short-term catalyst that's going to come in and really send the stock moving? Absolutely. I think we see great signs that I'll talk about on Sunday along with my new price target there. I got to figure that out, but I'm hoping to release that to my group soon, and we'll talk about it on Sunday with you guys there whenever I do a Tesla video there, because there's a lot of good things happening under the curtain with Tesla. But I do know we probably have a rough earnings call coming around this next quarter. And so I got to be disciplined. I've got to understand that and understand that the better days are on the back half of this year. And there's no reason why I can't strategically add to this stock. And that's exactly what I did. I bought it at 169.69, right at my price target, just like I told you guys. And now I've adjusted my price target again because remember, I have a full position in Tesla. I don't need any more. And so whenever I get that number there, I'll make sure I get that out to you guys as quickly as I can. And if you want to see all those buy and sell alerts on Tesla, SoFi, all the rest of the stocks on here in real time, and you want to see my complete watch list with price targets, you want to take 5 courses for free, use our stock analyzer tool for free, get free coaching on a lot of different things that you guys need help with, make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you, because the March Madness sale is going on, and when it ends, the price is going up forever. There's so much included in the group, guys. Make sure you check it out and see if it's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market, and click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.